Ah, wonder shall never end. What is really happening in this country? Now crimes are now the norms and tradition in Nigeria. And nobody seems to know anything wrong about it. I'm really confused. So many questions in my head. And I don't know who and where to ask this question. I really have a lot to ask. Well, let's go inside and know and get the answers by ourselves.
What you doing? Don't be shy, my girl. Bounce what you got, bounce, bounce what you got for me. Bounce what you got, bounce, bounce what you got for me. Bounce what you got, bounce, bounce what you got for me. Bounce what you got, bounce, bounce what you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Good day.
My name is Master Sixtus. And you? I can hear you now. Miss Emmanuel. Wow, that's a good name. And you, sir?
My name is Master Charles.
Master Charles. That's a good name. And you, Miss?
Miss Emilia.
Miss Emilia.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I guess you might not know why I'm here, but I want to ask you some questions and I really need some answers. In this Nigeria, so many crimes are now happening. And the worst case is nobody seems to know to see anything wrong with it in it. My first question is, where is this country going? My second question is, what will be the fate of this country in the next 5-6 years? I'm really confused. A lot of things are happening. And the worst case is now the tradition of the country. Nobody seems to know anything against it. Well, I have some questions to ask. If you may allow me to ask the question.
Go ahead and ask some questions. I'll listen.
Let's start with the Yahoo case. Please, ma'am, can you tell us more about the Yahoo case?
Well, I don't have much to say about that, but the little idea that I have to give out is just that this issue of Yahoo Boyz is getting out of hand in this country, and it seems like the government has nothing to do about it, as in they are feeling less concerned about the whole situation. And this thing is not taking, most especially, the time of our youths, the so-called youths of tomorrow. Now, the situation now is getting out of hand. I wish that if nothing is done about it, to be sincere, my dear, this country is heading to something like as I have nothing to tell.
That's a good point.
May I say something in addition to what she said? When she was speaking, she mentioned about this government is not doing something about it. How will the government do something about it when some of the politicians, their children is also involved in Yahoo? So tell me, how will you punish others with the way your children is also doing in Yahoo? So the government you are talking about cannot do anything until they start from their own side by looking into how the children behaving in the society or in the school, how they spend money. Hey, then you can talk about how the government can do something about it.
That's a good point anyway. Well, I have to add my own. I have to advise some parents. Some of these parents don't even know where their children get their money from. You will send your child to school, and maybe in the next 2 years, a year, your child will carry a beautiful car and come back to you. Why he or she is still in the school? I think that is not good. That is not even you as a parent. You're supposed to ask your child, where are you getting all this money from? I could remember, you as a parent, you know you didn't open a supermarket for the child. You just sent him or her to school to study. not to invest or not to get not to what will I call it, not to make money. No, making money is good, but depends on how you make the money. So I would advise some parents, you should ask your children where their money is coming from, because it's really bad. Now, thank you for the little answers you guys gave me on the point of Yahoo case. Now let's go into what will I call it? Church. Let me just call it church matters. How will you? I went to one church last week. I followed my friend. I followed my friend there. They were doing what do they call it? Wedding ceremony. Yes. So at the mass, one little kid like that. He's not even up to 19 years. He's not even up to 19 years. Come out and take microphone. What I heard from him was half a billion naira. A 19-year-old child. I have a really question. Please, ma, can you tell me, as in, what is the source of those money? Where can a 19-year-old child make such an amount of money?
Well, what I have to say about it is that the church has a bigger role to play on this. And it seems like this whole thing started in the church. I'm not saying that giving donations to the church is bad, but you have to look at the particular child that is giving out that such amount of money. Then it now depends on you, the church, to call on him or her as your child. Then ask him or her, where did you get the money from? This huge amount of money, because there is kind of amount of money that a child will say out in a public. It will warrant people to investigate on the roots of the matter. So the church has to call upon the child to ask him, where did you get this amount of money from? If not, the other members will have to take up the responsibility of asking the particular person where he or she got the money from.
Please, an objection. On this matter of church and the children of marriages, the objection I have in it is that some of us, if you look into what she said now, that the church must ask where he made his money from, you will see that not even the priest self, even a priest, even the pastors wouldn't even mind to ask. Reason, money, somebody told you that money is the root of all evil, and which is, if you are here now, if you look at it very well, if you enter into this way, money is the root of all evil, you will see that word means a lot. So some of us now, even the pastors and all those priests, they are into all these things just because of money. It's hard for you in this country, Nigeria, to see a pastor, a true pastor, somebody that calls himself pastor or a priest, to accept the word of Christ and say that I'm here to preach, not in the source of money.
What you said is right. At least I learned something from you.
Can I say something?
Okay, you can say something.
In addition of what my two friends said here, talking about the church. All the churches now doesn't. I mean, it's not God we are worshiping. Ask me, we are worshiping money, because there is no harm. You will go to church every Sunday. The priest or the pastor, being it deaconess or whatever in the church, cannot talk about giving offering 5 times or 3 times before you go home. So when a child of 19 years, you are talking about stand up to give billions of money mentioned in the church, you cannot expect the pastor or the priest in the church to ask the child, where do you get the money, when you know that the church already is demanding for the money, either to give or to buy zinc, whatever they want to do with the money. But they cannot ask about the work. In fact, they even ginger all the youth in the church to stand up. Can't you see what this person do? Oh, everybody will clap. Even the ginger some of the youth to stand up and to do exactly what the guy did in the church. So that is why all these things, corruption is started from the church. Once, if you ask me, I say that it starts from the church, because once you go to church and see your youth member, your pro member give 10 million naira, you will need to come back and also do the same. Even the parents in the church will be so proud of that child who give 10 million naira in the church. look at so person and hearing his or her name, even the parents name, father of anybody in the church have already know them, so you cannot expect the priest or even the parents to add the source of the money.
Thank you. At least I've gotten some information that I needed. Well, my word of advice, please, we prophets, priests, what the pastors and evangelists, all of us, please, let's be careful with what we do in the church. Remember, all of us serve God. We are not in that position to worship money, but we are in that position to serve, to preach to the word, the sermons of God. Please, I really advise the priests and the anointed men of God, please, you guys should do some inquiries before accepting or taking any offering given to you by an individuals. It's really, really important, because some of this money are blood monies. I can't even say anything now, because the chapel we are into, the church we used to worship into, is already blood itself, because the person that donated the money is a ritualist, or he puts his or her hand in blood offering or something like that. So it is not good at all. It is not good for the ordained priest and anointed men of God to take money anyhow. Please, we all should do some inquiry before accepting an offering from an individual, especially that huge amount of money that I'm talking about now. $500 million is such a huge amount of money from a 19-year-old boy. Anyway, thank you for the information you guys have given me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Please, can somebody tell me, or can somebody explain to me the reason why some parents, some parents do push their children into making money, into looking to into another people's family? Like, for example, you tell your child that, look at this boy, Mazo KK son. He's now a bachelor, he's now a medical doctor, he's now a successful businessman. But you don't even ask that particular person what he or she does. So please, can you tell me why some parents do such thing?
If you ask me,
yes,
I would say, why some parents do such thing is because once let me just say, for instance, now they went to the market and saw that person. I mean, for instance, for Chibuzo's mother or Chibuzo's father in the market, buying 10 chicken, 15 chicken and come back. You will stand like as if somebody died. You'll be very busy asking her what is the problem is. You will look at me. Why did God destined me to be poor? My children is poor, this and that, no money to eat, no money to do this. Once you start this in the whether not Chibuzo or anything in the child is here, the child will not to go outside to find out why her mother is behaving like this suddenly when she returned back from market. And when the child discovered this, because of the money where this guy come back from London with a car or come back from Lagos with a car, he will not to join the boy. Even he will not to do more than what that guy did sef. Whether the guy is in school or anything at all is possible to make that money. The guy will do it instantly just to make that money. The mother is crying and back. Even if to use the mother head for the ritual, he or she will do it without thinking twice. So if you ask me, I'll say that this thing is cost of the parents. The ginger and children go outside, make money, do anything, make money. The word do anything means a lot. You can see it as anything common about the word do anything means a lot. Go outside, do anything, make the money, come back. But when your child come back and you are not longer alive and your child come back with a car or 3 or 4 cars at the same time, what do you expect the child to do? You ask the child to go outside and make the money, and the child go outside and make the money. Now the child is back. You have to be happy. Anyway, even if you are dead, you have to be happy because you are going to push the child outside the world to go and make money. So if you ask me, this cost is from the parent. I mean, money. The devil have already entered, so money is the root of everything. Everybody wants to become rich, become millionaire, more than nobody wants to work again. Nobody wants to work. They want to become rich overnight.
Well, I want to add something to what my colleague just said. Some parents like comparing their children disorders, and which is very, very bad. And some parents also, they are saying it based on they want to motivate the child. Maybe the child as in is lazy, some stuff like that. So it's, as in he's trying to say it, maybe the child might change his mind in order to become somebody in life. Then on the process, but the parents have forgotten, before you comparing your child to another person, you have to make inquiries about that particular person that you are comparing your child with. You see it now. But some parents, they feel less concerned about it. All they want is for their child to make money, nothing less than that. But it now depends on the child to follow the good road and the bad one. So as a child that the parents trained very well, my dear, to tell you the truth, that child can never do anything because of money. Some parents feel less concerned about the way they brought up their children. They left their children at the hands of their maid. Some of them are government workers. As in this type of children that are raised like this, they can do anything. But once a child feels parental love, no matter what, he can never do anything because of money. That's what I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Master Charles, what do you have to put in this topic?
In this issue of parental care or something, parents are always having some mistakes in their life, which is not proper. You see someone's parents, he or she, they would, as in their child will be like, "Mommy, I want to buy a car," and they will even appreciate it too widely. But in that case now, you will see some parents, they will come into their families and their child, and be looking at their child walking around every morning. Some that have finished their secondary schools, you see them as in walking around, going around the whole villages. But the issue is that they should try and keep their, as in to, first of all, ask their children what is their mindset. Because some of these things now, if you look into it, you see that it is money, that same money. Because one, maybe education, that education, they don't have money to train their children. Then that child might go outside and emulate nonsense, bad behaviors. And that some of them now, they do join cults. You understand?
Well, thank you, Master Charles, for that wonderful advice. But I still got one question in my mind. I'm still confused.
Yes, go ahead. What's this?
Well, the question is, does school life affect the country? Like, does school negative life affect the country?
If you ask me, I would say yes. The school negative life affect the country. Why? It's because when a child in the school, all these bad friends in the school, be initiated by the school occultic, one of the school occultic member, the child would like to join because he have already been initiated in the occultic member. So when a child graduated from the school, and outside the school, he will also be doing the same thing, because when he was in the school, he was initiated by one of the members in the school. So if you ask me, I'll say yes.
Well, thank you for that wonderful point. But I have something to say. School is not a must. School is not a must. You have some big men, some Lego rich men have made their money. It's not by force that you go to school. Even if you go to school, it's not a must that you have to go through it once. No. It doesn't happen that way.
It's true.
You might, like for example, you are sponsored for like a year, 2 years, and on the line, your sponsor, the person that is sponsoring you, might no longer sponsor you again. Since you don't have the capitals and all the things, you as a student, you don't have to go into negative activities. It is really bad. It is really bad. At least you have to draw, even if you still want to go to school. You have to draw. My dear, University of Lagos has been there for like many years. It is still there. So you have to, school is not running. School is not running. You have to drop. If you drop, give it like, look for something that you do that will give you money. Or save money. Save money. Instead of you going into negative activities, it is wrong. Because even if you think like, let me make money from this thing. If I do it once, I will come out. On the way, you might try the first time, it will work out for you. And the bigger problem might come out. You will tell yourself, let me do this thing once again. You will try the second one, it will work out for you fine. And from there, you will not know when you get addicted to it. So I would advise for some of us who don't have any sponsorship, or some of us who are schooling now, but cannot school, but cannot go, what cannot forward ahead
In education.
in education. Dropping does not mean that your life is over.
It's true.
You can change from other things. You can change your life. School,
business administration,
thank you.
all those things.
No, I'm sorry, you find a job.
School is not a must
And come back.
School is not
Continue
a must
education.
matter. Thank you. School is not a must matter. Please, I would do advise you as a student, even if you don't have anything to do again, at least learn some manual jobs, some jobs that can give you food, and at least you can learn some skills from it. Empower yourself. You have some empowering skills in Nigeria, many of them. So I really advise for us to solve these negative activities, these illegal activities. Making money from prostituting is you selling your body. Yes, you are schooling quite alright. Yes, you are doing good things by going to school. Yes, but at the other side, you are doing bad thing
To yourself.
to yourself. Just you want to school. Yes, schooling is good, but on the other side, you are hurting yourself.
Of course.
Something that will affect you in the next 2-3 years. So I really don't like the idea of students going into illegal stuff just to make sure they are into school.
Become a graduate.
Thank you for the wonderful points you guys have. I really appreciate.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for all your advices and your points.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, let's go into the consequences of all these actions.
Yes.
Because I know very well there are a lot of consequences.
Many.
I know very well. How can somebody be sleeping with a guilt mind when he or she knows that he have murdered a lot of people, he have ended a lot of people's life just to make money? Please, my sister, can you help me in the fact?
Well, the consequences behind all this is much. Take for example, whereby a lady who is in university, you abort every now and then tomorrow, a man will come for your hand in marriage. After 10 years, 20 years of marriage, no child. What will you do? The next thing they will start doing is that they will start saying family problems, family people. These people, they are chasing me. Whereby you have forgotten when you are in your youthful age what you did. Without you knowing, maybe as you might even know the consequences of it, but you are just doing it to enjoy life. Because if you ask some people that are in school, they'll tell you what, that please leave me, let me enjoy my life. I own my life. Use it. And some of all these people that are clean because of money, they also forgotten that tomorrow it might be their turn. Some of them never last long. They cannot have peaceful mind. Every now and then, things keep running up on their mind. Only evil things. How to kill somebody, how to do this, and how to do that. And this is what I know about the consequences. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful point.
Yes.
Master Charles, can you help with any points?
Yes. Many points ahead, sir. In my own issue, see all these ritualists. You said something that they don't, as in, they think, as in, whether they sleep while after killing or murdering people.
Yes.
Which
Whether
is
they
wrong.
have guilt minds.
Guilt mind.
Yes.
Which is, in truth, to tell you the truth now, that they don't sleep. Some of them build houses in their village and they do sleep in those houses. They love to lunch in a hotel rooms, from this hotel to that hotel, from this hotel to another home. You'll be asking why is my son? You see them, even though they came to the village, maybe that village that they came to is just to come and see their mother. Maybe that same day they tell their mother that I have some business to run out, which is wrong, because they know if they sleep that something must happen that night. They will just leave the house immediately. And I don't know how to put it in English, but in that course, I think you should do something there to help us.
Thank you. Please, can you help us with any point too?
Yes, there's many points I heard.
Yes.
All those young boys, because I'm going, they said I'm going now, these young boys. Just for instance, someone like this, who is in the university, planning how to graduate, then after that, the person graduates. Those money that they got from Yahoo doesn't last long. Because all they do is to spend it, how they will spend it on a woman. And you being a woman that they're taking to a hotel, you not even ask yourself how you're going to come out, whether you're going to come out alive or dead. So, in my own understanding, that money doesn't last. Or if you ask me, it doesn't have meaning. Because anything that will not last will not have meaning.
Thank you for that wonderful point. In as much as I have gathered all your points, I would like to put my own too. The consequences, I might think, I have a lot of consequences in my head that I can even advise some youths. All those illegal activities are not good. I have a friend. Okay, let me say, I have a friend that knows a friend who doesn't even sleep in the night. In the night, he goes to club, carry out girls, because the Baba warned him not to sleep at night. That his sleeping period is daylight like this, that he cannot sleep. How can a human being, a breathing human being, cannot sleep in the night? Is that life normal?
It's not normal. First, you need to really take to the hospital because the life is not normal.
Thank you. Please, I really appreciate your this thing, but I will advise some youths out there. All these illegal activities are not good. They don't pay well because all the Satan's gift is give and collect.
It doesn't last long.
And if you watch out in this what do they call it, fast money, those illegal activities, some of our youth don't last up to 10 years. They don't.
5 lectures, you see it for 5.
They don't last 10 years in the activities. You see some of them running mad, some of them killed by accident, some of them a lot of things.
Some of them even go say, you see a child of 20 years now. You see that what I ask me what they do. But you know, some of them are where they put their hands, where they go, because they don't know their grace. You know, grace is not everybody's grace are not.
That's what they said. What is sweet is bitter.
What pains me a lot is what is a 15-year-old boy, 16-year-old boy, what are they doing with billions of money? What can they invest for that? This sort of a thing now is just, let me say, computer age. We are now. That is very wrong. Olden days people, they don't do like that. You see a family man, what he knows is just to make sure that. That is very wrong. A child of 15 years don't even have anything in mind to do. Even with $1 million, even with 100,000, the child cannot invest something good in it because he or she the mentality is not there.
You are not thinking like that. Why the guy or the girl is not thinking like that? All they want to spend they lavish the money. Just what they want to spend.
Now let's put it in a situation whereby you have the billions of naira as you a 15-year-old boy. What are your plans in it? You if you ask many of them, they'll tell you they'll go to hotel, they'll chase girls, and if you look at the outlines of what they have said, there is no investment there.
There will never be.
There's a lot of things that
spend the money. Just that's what they want. They will be changing cars as if they're changing clothes.
Some of them are not even thinking what
They're not thinking about the future. They're thinking about the
All
future.
these things.
How to spend money.
Let me tell you now, in this case now, even the government, they're supposed to even put hand in all these things. Because as you can see now, it's like the government too are even supporting them. Because that anybody let me say, anybody that they catch in this type of bad act, they will seize the person like that.
Let me catch one of them. They will say you I graduated 4 years ago, no job.
No job.
Who said no job? Can't you employ yourself?
Employ yourself.
Can't you do one not?
Calm down, guys. Calm down.
Employ yourself. And they said there's no job.
Calm down, guys.
Job before that.
Calm down. Thank you for all these wonderful points. Thank you very well. And I hope all those people watching us right now are hearing the advice. And please, do take it serious in this advice, because illegal activities, negative activities doesn't pay well. It ends up mysteriously.
You have to be contented, that's all.
And please, I have one more question to ask. How can the government help us in this matter? What are their works? What can they do to stop all these illegal activities in the country?
Youth empowerment.
That's good points. That's good points.
When a child registered for university, because if you manage to train yourself in the Christian way and you graduated, you'll be expecting that if you submit your CV, you get the job. But whereby you didn't get the job after spending all the money spent in the university, in the years of university, in the school, knowing how hard you work, all your sweat you spend in the university and no job there. You be the one, you be tired. Everything will just tired you to do. So when you didn't get this job, any means at all you see, you will have to join in. So I advise the government to at least to look into those people that are still in that seat, at least 60 years above. That is the government, so it should go down so that other people will take the seat. You are not the only one they made the seat for. So go down, so every year thousands of youth corpers are graduating, but yet no job there, so that they can enter once they graduated. But if you graduated, they walking around with your certificates like this every month, every day in the street, it's not good. So I suggest that the government should look into the matter by giving youth empowerment to the society, so that from there the youth can, all this corruption can stop.
Some of all those things now that happens now, maybe like as in they do things in their own now, as in let's say as the governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano now, has climbed the seat as the governor. Some of them like to put their brothers, the ones that they won't like. They would like to go out somewhere and go and bring someone to come and replace their seat. Someone that if they call tomorrow, the person can, because they don't even trust themselves. So all these things are even, and also some of them at the age of 60 years, you see somebody being senate. Also, I thought that they say youth leadership is the most leadership ever. But what we are seeing now, I don't think it's also is a leadership.
Thank you for the wonderful points. Miss, do you have any point to add in this situation?
Well, what I have to add, or what I have to say, is that most especially in our country, Nigeria, people like compromising, in the sense that if this person is not your church member, you cannot give him or her a job. It happens. You see it. And this is where the problem starts. And that's the main reason why they're having issues. They're having issues that have to do with religions. You see this person condemning this person, condemning this person, because of what? Because of what happened to them when they were looking for a job. And also, the government, they should build factories. We have rich men in this country. They should come together, build up something that can empower the youths. Not someone wasting 4 years or 5 or 6 years in the university, spending so much money. After youth service, no job. That's how stealing, Yahoo, all those things come in existence. You see somebody who is squandering government's money just like that without doing anything. All they care about is how to get to that place that they want to. without caring about the citizens. It doesn't make sense at all. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you. Thank you for all your effort and all your points you are making. At least now, I'm a little bit satisfied. So my dear viewers, I will advise you to learn from the little advice and the little points we all contribute here, so that you may not make mistakes in your life, so that you can correct your mistakes even if you have wrong somewhere. This is to teach and to impart some knowledge in your mind, in your social life, so that you cannot make the mistake those ones that are into it are making now. Please, the youths are the futures of tomorrow. Let's not make the country worse. Let's turn it into a better society. I will be very glad if this country turn to the good. Thank you, everyone. As I've said before, my name is Master Sixtus. Thank you.
Please remember, subscribe and share. Bye. See you.
Bye. See you guys. Love you.
Bye. Please try and like this our topic, social vices. We appreciate. Thanks.